I'm Elena, and I'm one of the Data 610 TAs. So, yes, did somebody raise your hand? Did somebody just, okay. Right, so let me continue. I'm one of the TAs, and today I'm going to be presenting Watson Analytics software that you're going to be using for your assignment 2 and 3. So, what you're going to do is the first step would be to take the course. Here it is. The course is free, and you would need to log into Big Data University. And in order to take the course, you would need to create a free account, just a free profile. It does not cost you anything, but you would need to sign up to take a course. And I believe you may receive the information via email. You may need to confirm the registration. But once you do that, you're going to see the course. You're going to click Enroll Now. And then you're going to take, I think it's about 5 modules. And when you're done with the modules, with all of the videos, you will need to take a test. You get 3 attempts, and the passing score is 60%. And once you pass the score, complete your course evaluation, then you're going to get a link to the certificate. Download the certificate and upload it to assignment folder. Okay? So now, once what's going to happen next is that you're going to receive the email invitation for your Watson account that you're going to need to use for the assignments 2 and 3. Now, this is how email is going to look like, and it's going to be sent to your email account that you have in Leo. So very important, make sure that you did not delete this email by accident, and check your junk folder, because this email cannot be resent to the same email account. So what you're going to see is you're going to see the blue button called Accept an Invitation, and you're going to click on that button. Or if it does not work for some reason, there is a link that you can copy and paste into your browser. And that button is going to take you to registration form, and this is how the form looks like. And you're going to make your own password. Make it something that, yes, the copy of the slides will be available. That's a good question. Thank you. So now here you're going to fill it out. You're going to put your first name, last name, and you're going to create a password, something that you can easily remember, and you're going to specify your question, security question, and answer. Now, this step needs to be done only once, just once. And make sure that you remember your password, you write it down. Somewhere only you can access, of course. Now, this done only once. On your second login, here's the URL that you're going to use. And you're going to click Sign In. And this will take you to the regular sign-in screen. Now, your IBM ID is the email where you received an invitation, an email that you used to confirm your account, and this is a password that you created here, right? And if you forgot your password, you would need to click on Forget Your Password and follow the steps. All right. So now, a few more things to go over. Here is a discussion page. All right, so this is one of the community pages, and here, if you're not sure how to do something, you may run a search just to see if somebody already asked this question, or you can ask your own question, but keep in mind that to ask a question, you may need to be logged in. At some point, you'll be prompted to log in. So now I'm going to go back to the software itself. So when you log in, this is a screen that you're going to see, a welcome screen, and you're not going to have anything on your personal area because you're going to start with empty workspace. So you're not going to see users because you don't have admin role, but you're going to see here 2 folders, shared and personal. Personal folder has anything that you own, anything that you created, basically. Shared area will have anything that was shared with you. So what I did here was I created a folder and I called it Datasets. and you will probably see that folder. So basically, you're more than welcome to use your own data set, but for some reason, if you're out of ideas, you know that there is something in here that you can reuse. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna click here, and you have, I think you have like 13 data sets available. So what you do is you would need to click on the data set that you want to use here. But since it's a shared folder, you have a read-only access. So what you need to do is you need to click on Refine. That opens the data set in the refinement view that we're going to talk about shortly. You go in here and you're going to go Save As. So what that will do is that will create a copy, and it will create a copy into your personal area. Okay, so I'm going to go Save. And that's it. Oh, okay, it tells me that I already have a file with the same name, so I'm just going to rename that. Something like that. And it's going to go to my personal area. I'm going to click Save. Right? Oh, okay, the same name already used. So I can just go ahead, and I'm going to go personal area and click Save. Just do this. It's because I already have something with the same name, that's why. Okay, so basically, what you're going to do is you're going to save a copy of this data set to your personal area. And then you're going to open it in your personal area, and and that's how you're going to use it, right? Anything in the personal area, yeah, I already had it in here. That's why it would not let me save it again. But anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to save a copy to your personal area, and you're going to work from your personal area. So now remember, shared area is what was shared with you. Personal, it's something that you own. Now, so what you also can do is you can import your file. So what you do is you click here on Add. Now, there are several options. You can just drag and drop the file in here, the CSV file, or you can click Upload Data, and then you're gonna click on Browse, and after that, you're just gonna go and you're gonna find a file on your hard drive, right? Just any CSV file, and I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna go upload. So now what you're gonna see, it says transferring. It means that my file is still uploading to my personal area, and after that, the message is gonna change to analyzing. What it will do is it will compute the data quality score. That score is based on the quality of data itself. If I have any missing values, right? Missing values is basically a blank value or unknown. If I have something called outlier, which is unusually large value or unusually small. Right, so see this here, its average quality score is 76, which is really good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here. And notice, what is this? What is this? This is a bunch of options. It's giving me choices what I can explore. And the words in blue are the column names in my data. So it's highly recommended that you guys keep your column name in a spreadsheet descriptive, because when I look here, I kind of have an idea that how do values of a price compare by engine location and body style. On the other hand, if I call this XYZ, it would not make sense. I would not know what X is, I would not know what Z is. But here, I can kind of know the suggested exploration that Watson gives me, and here is a suggested visualization, right? So I can just select any of this, or I can type my own question. Like I can go in and type price here, and I click search. It's going to refine the questions for me. What is the summary of price? And here, what is the values of price by each make? So I can, in other words, I can calculate perhaps an average price based on car maze, and how values compare by number of cylinders, and so on. And here it's a little bit more advanced. It can show you how to ask the question, and you can just pick different types of questions. For instance, what is the total number of wheelbase per row, something like that. So that's basically the frequency counts. So, yeah, I was just showing that you can ask your own question. Or suppose that I like this. I can just click here, and it's going to take me to my exploration. It's going to take some time to load, of course. So, okay. So here, I see several areas. This is the main area. Do you remember that? I was selecting make and average price. Now, very important, what is this? This is a column name, right? If I name my column as X, I would have no idea what is it talking about, right? So this is a column name, and this is a column name. What I could also do is I can click here, and I can change, I can select a different column if I like, right? So this is really interactive. And I see somebody sharing a video. May I ask you to turn it off because it's a bandwidth? We want the presentation to be high quality. Alright, so here is a plot. And now what is this? Those are the related plots. Watson kind of thinks, okay, maybe she's interested to see the make by engine size. Or maybe she's interested to see something like this. Right, anything. Well, it's just gonna pick up something, any related visualization to what I have right here. Now, what you could also do is you could filter visualizations. Few things to keep in mind is that there are two types of filters, local filter and a global filter. What is it gonna do is your workbook here, it can have more than one page, right? Right now I currently have one page, but I can add more, right? I can just go in and perhaps let me add this. So now I have 2 pages. Oh, that's nice. So basically what it did was it picked the suggested chart for me. So now I've got 2 pages in my workbook, right? 1 and 2. I could apply the filter, global filter. That filter will apply to every single page in my workbook. That's why it's called global. If I define the filter, it's going to apply to both pages that I have right now. If I define the local filter, it will filter only this date on the specific chart. Now, what I'll do is, to define the filter, you just click here. This is called the data tray, and it lists your columns, right? So what I could do is, perhaps I click on number of doors, and some cars have 2 doors and some cars have 4. What I could do is I could just select, I only want 4. That's it. And it refines my visualization. What I did was I only want the cars that have 4 doors. When nothing is selected, it's going to show everything. Now here I have an option right here. Blank. So blank means missing value. Maybe my dataset has missing value. I can include it or I can exclude it. Right? This will include the missing values. Like this will exclude. Right? So what I could also do is I can clear the filter that will undo the filter. Or I can just, let me put it back. Now, what's going to happen is I just click out to close this. See this? It says 1 filter applied. And right now I'm only looking at the average price for the models that have 4 doors. Now, what I'll do here, I'm going to click. And this got refined as well. See this? 1 filter applied. So what I was able to do is I was able to filter my both visualizations. So that's what you can do. Now, oh, this is a nice visualization. I like it. And later I'm going to do my dashboard. I'm going to do my presentation. And I really like this. What I could do is I could click here. I want to add this to collection. What is collection? Is this. Here are my chart that I added to collection. And later on, when I'm ready to create a presentation, I can reuse it from here. Right? So whenever you like something or you want it to be part of your presentation, you just add it here. right? So I'm gonna close this. To close this, you just click here again. What you could also do is you can change how things look like. Here you can change the chart type, you can change the color codes. So basically you can show the chart title, you can hide the title, and so on. You want to show labels, you can hide labels. There are different options here. So now here it's also easy to navigate between pages, or I can see all pages at once, or I can click back to see one page at a time. What I could also do is I can go in here and I can apply filter here. But again, anything I change here, this is a local filter. It's going to apply to this visualization only, right? So suppose that I'm not interested in this, I'm not interested in Dodge, and I'm not interested in this one right here. That's it, I'm done. Now, what I just did only applies to this chart right here. It does not apply to this visualization. Why? Because I applied the local filter, right? So this filter was on categorical variables. There are two types of variables. There is a categorical variable that has a predefined set of values. Those values are discrete. Like, for instance, number of doors, it's either 2 or 4. There are also the continuous values, or numeric, right? Like, for example, miles per gallon, or price, right? Price, right here. See this? That's a different type of filter here. What you could do is, instead of filtering out specific values, you can filter out the values range. So price and also the city miles per gallon is the same way. So suppose that I'm not interested in a 13 miles per gallon. I'm gonna go like this. What did it do? It filtered. But again, what did I change? Anything that I change here on the data tray, it's gonna apply to every single visualization in my workbook. Only in this workbook. If you've created multiple workbooks, it does not matter. This will apply only to this specific workbook. Okay? So now, if I don't like my filter, I'm just gonna go clear. Another thing to watch out is that sometimes when you do find more than one filter, it's highly possible that you have no data returned. It's highly possible. So sometimes you're gonna say, where is my data? I don't see anything. It could be related to the filters that you have applied. Right, so here it's just showing me that it's aggregating by price, and I could change that too. I could change miles per gallon, I could change anything. Right? So here is a list of my variables. I can change the variable here. Well, you cannot do it just by clicking, but you can do it here. I can go ahead and I can change city miles per gallon. Look at this, it got updated. This is interactive. And now I'm showing make. I can go ahead and I can change my fuel type. So here it is, diesel and gas. And look at this. This gets changed. As I change here, this gets changed for me. Isn't it nice? Yes, it is, right? So what you can also do, this is very important. For these explorations, you have to save. You really have to save. I click here, save, and you want to save it in your personal area. And what I did was I created these two folders, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But cars exploration, let me see if it lets me save it. Yes, it did. Okay, it let me. So now what I'll do is, yes, there is a message. It says that my exploration was saved. What I can do is, how do I get back to the welcome page? I click here, and this list shows me all pages that I have open. So it shows me that I have this exploration open, and I have a welcome page. I'll go back to welcome page. Now, another thing that I forgot to show you guys, but I can show it to you now, see this question mark. This is available from every single screen. What it does is, it takes you to the help pages and you find a lot of useful information. Look here, this takes you to the documentation. And these documents are broken down by topic. Like for instance, I'm interested in Explore, that's what I just showed you. And here, it's showing you how to ask questions. You can click here. Oh, and there is even a video. There is a lot of useful information here, visualizing my data, and then you break down further. So you can read, and this is useful information. So now I'm going back. What else you could do is, so I could go ahead, see this, if I close it takes me down to the welcome page. Also, when you click here, it takes you to the community page. It's going to open in the next tab, right here. So this is a nice page because here you can get to the discussions. And this is a page I mentioned earlier where you can just search, because sometimes if you have a question, we never know. Maybe somebody else had this question already. And you might find your answer, you may post your question, but you'll need to sign in. Now, what else you have is you can, in addition to this, you have the resources. On the resources page, you have different information on data sets, and you have some expert posts, and there are some useful examples that you can read and useful videos that you might find helpful. So you can explore it at your leisure. And now I'm going back here. In this class, you'll be using Explore, Predict, Assemble. We are not going to be using social media in this class. And you will be using Refine. And I'm going to go over Refine as well. Now, I wanted to show you the folders. This is a really nice way to organize your tiles. So you click here, New Folder, and I already have a folder for assignment 2. So suppose that you're working on assignment 3, so you're going to type in here, you're going to type the folder name, right? And I'm going to click Create. I'm just going to pretend that what I was doing is part of my assignment 3, just an example. So I click here, and what you do is you select Move, and here you're going to choose the folder where you want to move it. But here what you want to be careful with, if you put it in a shared folder, everybody will access it. Whenever you move something to the shared area, by default it's going to inherit the permission of the shared area. It means every single user will see it. So that's probably not what you want. So you're going to move it to like this, and it's going to be in your folder. Oops, you want to click on the folder to open the folder. Oops, let's close this thing. Okay, so here it shows me the location where I am right now. I'm in Personal and Assignment 3. So now I want to look at the data itself, and that's called refinement. There are several ways to get there. One way, this is new, it was not available before. I can just click on triple dots and select Refine, right? Or I can click Refine, and I select my data from here. Or I can click here and select Refine. So there is more than one way to get there. I clicked here. Now, it's going to take some time to load. What it's going to show me, here are my column names, right? And here is the data. And notice that somehow Watson picks up some of the hierarchical relationships in here. Somehow it does for some of these values, for some of the... Okay, so now what we can do is, you can reorder the columns, and to do this, you just click here, and you can just drag this. That will reorder the columns. There we go. You can sort data just by clicking on these arrows. Right, so that's one thing that you can do. You could also filter this workbook. But something to keep in mind is that any filters that I apply here will apply to everything else that I do with this workbook. Because I can use my refinement as a starting point to do the explorations and to do predictions. Any filters that I apply here, and I'm going to save a copy of this refinement, any filter will apply to every visualization that I use this for. The plus side is the security. Suppose that my organization has several business units, and suppose that I don't want to see the engine size. I don't want this to be visible to the certain business unit. I can hide this column, and I can save a separate copy of this workbook and set the permissions accordingly, right? So I can save multiple copies of the same workbook with different columns in it. That's a plus side. So now what I could do is I can save, and here I can just right away, just for this demo, assume that it's my assignment 3. So I'll just do this, and I click save. So that saved the refinement at this copy right here. So now I just click on anything else to close out of it. Here are some useful menus. I'm going to click here and I'll show you what it will do. I have a data quality score for every single column, beside ID, of course. What it does is, it's looking at the missing values, it's looking at the extremely large or extremely small values. Oh, here it is. I have missing values in this column. So it says 1% of my data has missing values, HP. So now what I could do is, although there is no explicit way to fill in the missing values with an average, as you would like, but let me see, here it is. Here it is. I can uncheck this, and it will exclude the data with missing values. If I uncheck this, I'm excluding all data rows that have missing values. This is what you can do. Or, if you check this, it will include the data with missing values. You can do this. You have an option to exclude the data rows with missing values, right? But the downside is that if suppose that you have a variable with half of the values missing, you're going to lose half of the data. So there is something to consider. We need to be careful when we do this. Now, what you could also do is you could filter data. Since this is a numeric variable, you can just slide this. Remember, you saw something similar in exploration, but the filter that you applied in exploration applies only to that specific workbook. It does not apply to any other workbook, because I can create multiple workbooks, right? And I can use this data set for multiple workbooks. The filters that I showed you earlier applied only to that specific workbook. But anything that I change here will apply to all workbooks for which I'm going to use this as a starter. So I could do clear. It will undo the filter. But also notice this, if I make a filter, here it's showing me the selected values. It's showing me what I have selected. So that's something also to keep in mind. Let me clear it. There's to close out of it, you just click anywhere else. This is an ID. This is a unique identifier. So now let me see, I closed. Here, oops, I really want to be here, this menu. Here is a list of my columns. Oops, I keep on clicking. What I could do is I can uncheck, and if I uncheck ID, I don't want to display it, it gets removed. What you could also do is you can create a calculated column, right? Like suppose that I want to, let me say, new price. I'm going to call it a new price. And what I will do here is I'm going to select, I'm going to select price. Here I'm just going to select plus, and here I'm just going to select number, and I'm going to just key in, please enter the valid number. Oops, it won't let. Okay, so basically what I have to do is, yes, it lets me, I just have to type like this. Suppose that I want to increase my price of the car by 1,000. I'm just making it up, and I'm gonna click done. So basically what it does is it's gonna create a new column. It's gonna call it a new price, and it's gonna increase it by 1,000, right? So here I've got numbers. I can put another column here if I want to create a sum. Or I can add a function here, alright? So you have a variety of things you can do, but I'm just showing what you can do. And again, now I lost my number and I have to retype it. And I have to delete. There we go. So now I'm going to click done. What did it do? It added another column. I would have to scroll down right here. And this is a new price. So basically what I did was I added 1,000. Right. So now what else you could do is, this is called, some people call it binning, some people call it data group, some people call it discretization. So what I'll do here is, I'm going to pick a column, and it has to be a numeric column. You have to pick a numeric column, so I can pick perhaps the city miles per gallon. And what it's going to do is, I'm going to divide the values into 5 bins. Default is 5, I'm just going to keep a default. Here, by default, it's just going to set the bin boundaries for me. I can change it, I can just slide this to change it, but I'm gonna leave it default, and I'm gonna type name, I'm gonna type city underscore mpg range. So what that will do is, it will create another column for me. Done. Right? So there we go. So basically, sometimes you want to do this because perhaps you want to calculate an average price of the cars that have miles per gallon in a certain range. It's just a good example. Or sometimes if you're analyzing the survey data, you don't want to look at somebody's age, you want to look at somebody's age range. So that's one reason you would do that. So now, let me close this. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go back to my welcome page. And notice that I'm going to go back to this folder. It created another tile, cars refinement. So basically, if you watch the tutorial, they call this asset. That's another terminology. And that's a refinement. Different color code is used for different asset type. So refinement and initial data set is going to be orange, and an exploration is going to be green. Right. I'm not sure if I saved it, but I think I did. So now let's do predictions. So the reason I spent more time on exploration and refinement, because this is your assignment too. Now we're going to do prediction, but for the refinement, keep in mind that this can be done at any time. It can be done right away, or you can do exploration, and you may notice something that perhaps you notice the columns that you don't find useful, or you notice something that you want to look at the value ranges. At any time, you can do refine. Now, so what we'll do is we'll look at the prediction. There is more than one way to do this. You can click here and then select a data set, or instead you can just click on the data set and select refinement from the, select prediction from the options. So what I could do is I could either use refinement or I can use original, right? So what I do here, I'm gonna click predict. Now this is important to realize that what it's gonna do is it's gonna select the target variable for me automatically. Target is a variable that I want to predict, and the remaining variables are inputs. So price, and you can have up to 5 predictors, up to 5 variables that you want to predict, target variables. Perhaps with this data set, I could also be interested in predicting miles per gallon. Why not, right? Price, or it could be body style, or symboling, which is a car risk level. I could do that too. So there are several options with this data set. Let me do this. Let me name this price prediction. So what I'll do is I'm just going to click create. Or what I could also do is I could do this. I could do edit workbook fields. And sometimes you may have some fields that you don't want to be used in analysis, and you can explicitly go in here and exclude them. So here, what it does here, it's showing me that price is my target variable. Body style is going to be my input. And in here, it's showing me even the visualization. Isn't that nice? And I can click on show more, and it's showing me the data type of the variable. Nominal, it means that the values are discrete. You have a set of predefined values, right? And this is nominal. And if I click on something like a car viz, there we go. So that's different visualization because the variable is continuous. You're going to see different terminologies. You can see continuous, you can see numeric, you can see real number. So here it is. There are different types. There is an ordinal. Ordinal means that the values are discrete, but they have an order. Like, for instance, a symboling could be an example where higher value means higher risk. For some reason, it's reading it as a continuous, but in reality it should be ordinal. I can go ahead and change that, because in reality, car risk level should be ordinal, and 3 means the most risky. Okay, I'm just gonna go continue. And it may reanalyze my workbook because I just changed this. It's taken its time to save. So I'm just gonna click cancel because it's taken its time to save. So I understand that I lost the change, but okay, so I'm gonna click create. You're gonna see this spinning. It's gonna give me as a status. So now it might take a while sometimes, but don't cancel it. Just let it take its time, because secretly when you cancel it, it starts another process to cancel the process, which might not be good. You just wait for it to finish, and it's going to open the prediction workbook. And what you'll see something that looks like a bullseye. There we go. Here is my target variable, and here I see pins. I see a pin for predictor that Watson believes is the most significant. So here it is. So this is my make. So Watson believes that make is the most significant driver of the car price. Number of cylinders is the next one, and engine size. The closer my pin to the center, the stronger is the predictor. And here it's giving me the predictive strength. And it's looking individually. It's looking at one variable at a time. Here, if I change 2 fields, it's going to be looking at the combination. So it's showing me the combination of HP and make as a stronger predictor. and the predictive strength is 91%, and I can go even further. I can go at 3 at a time, right? So I'm gonna remove this for now. Remove. I just want to keep one for right now. So what I'll do is, what you can also do is, when I put my mouse on top of the pin, it gives me the predictive strength, and there is an option to see more details, right? For some reason it would not unclick, but that's alright. So what I'll do is here, I'm gonna click more details, and it's gonna show me the visualization here, the average prices for. Okay, so the color code stands for the average price, and since I have two variables, here is a make, and here is the city miles per gallon, right? So here, it's because I had two variables selected. So here I have a sort of like a three-dimensional, because I have my average price, which stands for the color. I have another variable, car make, and I have the city miles per gallon. And what you could also do is you click on the details, and you can see more details. You can click on statistical details. That will give you more information. Oh, here it is. It gives you the ANOVA information. Oops, here we go. You have to be like, you need to hold this, and then while you're holding this, you click Learn More. And this, when you click Learn More, it opens up another window with a help system about the linear regression. Oops, where I was. I need to go back to the top, sorry. Here it is. I'm gonna close this out. Now what you could also do is, I could see the associations, but I actually want to uncheck this. This is weird. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So to uncheck this, you have to click here. I didn't realize that I have to click on one field. Alright, so now I'm gonna look at the associations. I click View. And this is gonna show me a nice chart of the associations between my variables. Right? So it's looking at the pairs of variables. I'm gonna close this. Here, you can also view the data quality scores for each variable one at a time. Okay, now, here it's showing me all my variables, and the color code stands for the data quality score. And I can even see what the data quality issues are. It's showing me that I have a field with 6% of nearly constant values. And it's showing me that my fields have outliers. So I can just click here to look at this further in further details if I'm interested. Or I can just close out to continue. So, okay, sometimes it's taking its time. Now I have one target, so again, you can have up to 5. Here I can just click View All, and it's going to show me all. Right? It's going to show me the visualization for the price and the remaining variables. Now, suppose that there is something here that I like. I click on this, and I really like this. What I could also do is I can add this to collections. You click on this here, and you see the confirmation message. And when you click here, you'll see it on the list. This is called asset. So that's another terminology. So I'm going to click here to close this. And I'm going to close this. And I'm going to return to my dashboard. But wait a minute, does it save it? Yeah, it's saving me. I don't need to click save. It just saves this. Oh, another thing is here. See this? You can use this to further refine your predictions. I can drag and drop. I can see that there is, now we have changes. Yeah, so I can go ahead and I can drag right here. So I'm basically refining my predictions. So you could do this. You have a lot of options here. So let me close this. Now what you could also do is you can do undo. Oh, not on this page. Okay. What you could also do is, let's see this, you can share this. Oh, that's neat. If I click on this, what I could do is I can download my visualization, and there are several options. I can download it as an image, I can download it as a PDF, I can download it as a PowerPoint. So now you know you have three formats. My other option is I can share it, or I can get linked to this, or I can email it. Okay, I can email it as an attachment. I'm going to close this out. I'm going to close this. And that takes me to the welcome page. What else we did not look at? We did not look at Assemble. Assemble is something that you're going to use for your assignment 3. And basically, it allows creating the presentation. You can create a presentation or you can create a slideshow here. What we'll do is, you have several options here. You can click on Assemble. And you can just select your data set here. I'm just going to go and select this. Okay. Or, yes. How about decision tree? Yes, you could, but the target that I selected, the target variable that let me close this. The variable that I selected, it's a numeric, that's why. The variable that I selected, it had a numeric variable, but to do the decision tree, you would have to have a categorical. So let me see. Let me see if I click here. Cars refinement. Let me see if I do the prediction. And I'm going to try different target right now. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna remove this and I'm going to select, let me pick something that I know for sure, fuel type, right? I can select fuel type and let's do create. Let's see what happens. Oops. Oh, because I did not save it, that's why. Okay, I'm gonna save this and I'm gonna hit create. It's gonna create a new workbook here. Yeah, it's gonna take its time. So we need to be a little patient here, I guess. And let's see what will happen. Okay. So here I'm seeing again my predictors of the fuel type. Well, it might not be a variable that you would normally choose, well, but you could. There's more than one choice here. Okay, so let's see. Let's click on this. Let's see what happens. Details. It did a bar chart. What was it? What was the question? Did somebody have a question? Now click on details. So I think I need to select more than one predictor. Let me try this combination and let's see what it does. Maybe it will do now. Basically, you need to play around here. Oh, did not do it. So basically, what you'll need to do is you need to play around with variable and with the visualization. Yeah, you just need to play around with it. So here it is. I've got the statistics, more statistical information. And what I could do is I could also add this to collection. So I'm gonna close this out. And I'm thinking we could pick different variable and see what happens. But yes, it's possible to have decision trees. It depends on what variable you are looking at, because Watson Analytics is going to select visualization for me automatically. Yeah, it's selected for me, depending on my variables. So let me click. So I can click Learn More, and it's showing me the help information. That's not what I'm looking at. Okay. Oh, here it is. It selected logistic regression for me. Right? So based on the data that I have, it's gonna pick the method for me. This is doing logistic regression right now. Maybe I should have picked the variable with more values. That's possible too. But basically, it all depends on what your target variable is and what your predictors are. Yeah. So let me close this, and you can just browse through this. I would have to pick something where you have categorical, I think, and it will do it. Yeah. Can try this one. Let's see. So notice it's doing a different model based on a predictor. It also picked logistic regression. It's because I have my target variable has two values. That's why. What I could also do is I could do this field properties, and let me change. I can change predictor at any times. Okay, so I can do. So now, for some reason, it's selecting price as a target, but I could also do something else. I can pick symbol as a target, but I can pick this as a target and predict. Right? Let me hit continue. See what happens. Okay. So I just can do this. It asked me to build a new workbook. That's okay. It's because I changed the target variable, that's why. Let's see what happens. So this is a lot of exploration. Build a new workbook version, that's alright. Yeah. So what you could do is, you can try 2, or you can try 3. For some reason, it's gonna decide that it's numeric. We'll see what happens. Never know. And the details. Yeah, it shows logistic regression still. So anyway, oh, it's still showing me the field type for some reason. Okay. Okay. I would have to look at this because it has not changed to what I wanted to change. Let me close this. It may have added it to my personal area. Oh yes. Oh wait, that's field type, that's prediction. So I would have to go back all over, and I would have to do this. I would have to do predict, and then I would have to select my data set again and follow the steps that we just did. But let me show you a sample. Let me click on a sample here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the data set that I want to use, and I can just pick personal, and I'm gonna find my cars data. Okay, so now here I can call this cars view. I have an option, and I'm just gonna do single page for right now. And here is a layout. You can pick any existing layout, and I'm going just to pick this one, and I'm gonna hit create. So this is a dashboard. What you could do is you could add your chart. you can create a new chart, you can add text, or you can add links to the web pages. So what I'll do is, isn't that nice? I click here, and here I see the chart that I already created. And what you do is, you select this, and you have to drag this. For some reason, okay, here it is. So I drag it, and you want to put it on these errors. You want to put it on top of this error, because you want it to take up the whole tile space here, right? Now, notice this, it's interactive, I can filter this, right? It's one of the explorations. If you recall, we had an exploration workbook. With the second tab, it had a bubble chart like this. I could apply my filters here. This is still interactive. See this? I can filter out the weeds, and I can make a copy of this. For instance, suppose that I want to have another copy, and I can filter it differently, or I can do anything else different, right? I can make a copy, or what I could also do is I could put another chart here. Oops, did I do it? There we go. See, it did not do the way I wanted to, because I did not put, let me delete, because I had to put it right on top of the blue arrow to make it in the center. Now let me add something like a text, and I'm gonna add something like this. Watson is fun. I'm just adding something. Now here, I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna add something. Oh, I see why. It's because I use different data set, that's why. But let me try this. Oops. Okay, so anyway, what you could do is, you could also create your own visualization here, or you could just drag and drop. I would have to scroll, that's why. Okay, or you could create your own, or you can add shapes, you can do anything. Just be creative. Oops. It still didn't do it. I know. Sometimes we need to be a little patient. Oh, okay, good. It worked now. So now what I can show you is this. So now you have a dashboard, right? So it's basically this page is static. Everything shows there is no animation. What you could do is you could create an animation. Another thing to note here is that here you save this. And let me save it cars view in the personal area. And I want to save it in the same folder where I have my other work. Okay. So I saved this. Now notice this is undo, redo. If I made a mistake, I can redo. This is another important, the workbook has two modes. It can be in a view mode, or it can be in the edit mode. If it's in the edit mode, then I can make changes. And how do I know that it's in the edit mode? This pen will light up, right? This pen will light up. And here you've got the data tray, so you can filter out your visualizations further. I'm not going to get into the details because I don't want to lose everybody. I don't want to overwhelm you. But what I will do is I'm going to show you is that you can do the create a story right here. I click right here, and I'm going to call this car story. And I'm going to save it in the personal, and I'm going to hit save. Okay, so now what it's going to do is, it always creating an animation. Do you see this play button? Right now, it's not going to work because I have not set up anything. So what I'll have to do is, I believe I have to click here. So here is my timeline. this to the timeline, and notice this, each rectangle here is labeled here. So here is my image 1, right? This. Each of these pieces here corresponds to the block on the timeline. And I can configure when in the presentation each piece appears. So what you do is you just drag and drop, right? I can just drag and drop. Here it is. Now, something to keep in mind here is that the edge of the last bar tells me when the presentation ends, when the animation ends. I could also show when I want certain things to disappear. So now what I'll do is I'm going to hit play just to see what happens. Oh, I see what's going on. I have to maximize this view. I have to close this right here, but okay. I have to minimize this. Now let's do play. See this? It's taking its time. See this? It appears now. So basically, I configured when different pieces appear. And I only selected the layout with 4 panes. You can select more complex, and it can get really fancy. And even here, if I create a new chart, I can still add it to my collection. Isn't it nice? I can do, it's a lot of flexibility here. So now I'm saving. Now if I close this, right, when I go back in here, let me show you something. Oh, see this? I cannot edit it right now. So some of you might be wondering what happened. I can no longer edit it because right now you're not in an edit mode. You would need to click on a pencil, right, to be able to edit, to get into an edit mode. Oh, that's data tray. That's very interesting. You can even filter data here. Yeah. So now what we will do is I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back to welcome page. I'm going to close this. And I need to show you something. Okay, close. This is something what not to do. We need to be really careful with it. And I'm going to show you what I mean here. So I have something here. For instance, I have diabetes data. I click here and I want to share it with everybody. I'm going to click move and I'm going to put shared. I just want this. And I'm going to click move, right? There we go. What it does is it's a default behavior. Everybody gets a full control. Full control means that I can control everybody's access to this and so on, right? And I'm going to click OK. So right now, everybody will see this in the shared area. Everybody who has an account will see this. Now, what I'll do is I'm going to go to change permissions. And here is what I want you guys to be careful about too. I'm going to unclick inherit. And I'm going to go clear all. What do you think happens? What happens if I click OK right now? I lose access to it. Take a look. I removed access to this from myself. So this is something to be careful about because you lose access to your own work. But if instead of full control you just set view and edit, not a big deal because I can open it. View and edit still lets me see it. I can open it. I can save a copy of this dataset to my own folder, right? I did not lose as much. Where if I do this, I would have to call administrator probably to get it restored. But I'm gonna cancel this. I'm not gonna do this. Don't save. And so that's something to keep in mind. And in fact, the similar mistake could be made by the admin with privileges. So if you accidentally If I'm an admin, if I accidentally lose my admin role, I can no longer restore it by myself because you need to be an admin to change role. Same thing here. If you lose access to your own data set, you cannot get it back because you have to have full access to restore the access back. So, and you're gonna get more instructions on sharing data because you're gonna have the group assignment. Last assignment will be group, and you'll be sharing data with your team. So you're gonna get more instructions on that. But let's see what questions we have. Guys, I really like questions. So, questions. Are there any questions in the chat? Then I have a question. How many of you have started this week readings? You don't have to answer it, but if nobody has a question, then I have a question for you. Okay. Nobody has questions? So how many of you are comfortable with taking the training, getting the certificate, and starting an assignment? Yes. So if we lose access, who is an administrator? Me or Steve? It depends on which subscription account you are. So, but it's better not to lose it, but if you lost, we'll take care of it. Don't worry. That's what we are here for, we'll help you. But usually each account usually has at least 2 administrators, just to make sure. Just in case. Yes. Yeah, I want to see questions, guys. I love questions. So, everybody understands the assignment 2. You will need to select the data set, and you can go ahead and pick any of this here, or you can select your own data. But you might be wondering where you get the descriptions for these data sets. Some of them, they have descriptions in expert box, expert posts, because a lot of these data sets have been actually tested in Watson. Yes. Oh, an email. An email may not have been sent yet. It may or may not have. It depends on what sessions you are in. Depends on what session you are in. Some sessions may have received an email already, but make sure that you check your junk mail, check everything. And email is not going to be from your instructor, it's not going to be from me, it's going to be from Watson, very important. And make sure that you click on that button, do it as soon as possible. You mentioned, what was that? What was the question? Myra asked you to speak because yeah, you can upload the files. You can upload the files and just do it by clicking on add. You can do that, or you can just use one from the shared folder. You just click and you open in refinement, and you're going to save it under a different name. That would make a copy on your area that no one else can access beside you, an administrator, right? So basically, because administrators, we have access. We do. Like if I click on users, I'm an admin. So I can just go in and I can select, just an example, like I can click on the guy and I can see what the work that he had been working on. So if you're stuck, then an admin can look and see what they can do to help you. Yeah. But it depends on which account you are again. Yeah. So you're not going to see users, of course. You're going to see shared, you're going to see personal. And here is to create a new folder. You can place folder inside the folder. That's really nice because it will help you organize if you have a lot of tiles here. And you can also filter by the tile type. Yeah. Can you use an average? Oh yes, you can use an average price, absolutely. Absolutely, you can, and you can also do an average price by car make. Yeah, definitely. This is an excellent question. I can do average price by fuel type, Or I can do the minimum price, perhaps. Yeah, this is a good question. And I can also get how many cars or which type do I have. There is a lot of interesting ideas, and part of it is thinking outside the box. So again, we focus on explore, predict, assemble, refine. Oh, the format. Yeah, you look at there is a the assignment requirements. I believe they're posted in the classroom. I think you need to submit the Word file, right? I'll have to look and I'll have to check, but you would need to submit everything in a Word file, and there is a write-up part of this. But again, it's a good idea to go a little bit beyond. If you really want to learn, you want to explore, and you want to go beyond. Trust me, you want to go beyond, to take advantage. It's a great opportunity to explore and to learn through exploration. Right. Oh, and if you look at this, there is a web page. It's in this presentation, this URL, and here you've got even more tutorials. It goes by category. You select the category, and here are different videos in the category. And here also you have a transcript in a PDF format. So this is really helpful. There's a variety of resources and videos, and on YouTube there is a whole channel. I may have added it. So here we've got the basic summary of what we went over. I forgot to show you my account. So that basically shows your email and the space that you have. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Yep. So that is just a summary of what we've talked about. And the slides will be posted, of course. And at any time, if you have questions, I want you guys to ask. Questions are good. So on the last two slides, you have some dataset recommendations. Yeah. And here, there are some links to, you may find some descriptions and actual case studies, some examples what they do with the data. It could give you ideas. If you upload your own data, if you upload your own data, then basically, the limitations, the data score, the data quality score may vary, of course, but the question, this is a good question, but it's related to specific data set. I need to see the data set, because the approach you take, it depends on the data once again. If I use linear regression for one data set, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's an approach I'm going to use for another data set, right? So the approach you select depends on the data. When is this assignment due? It's due in not next week, but the week after. So does creating a new column? Oh, do you mean does it improve the data quality score? That's a good question. It depends on what the new column is. If it's a duplicate, it might reduce. We have to explore. Yeah, end of week 5. That's right. Because if you look at the calendar here, so this week is going to end on the 13th. Week 5 is going to end on March 20. So mark your calendar. It's March 20 midnight. Yes. So let's see who else has questions. If nobody has a question, then we're going to have a pop quiz. What's the difference between refine and explore? Anybody? Okay, I can answer it. In explore, right, you create a new workbook, and basically, remember how you picked the list of the questions? You select an exploration question, and it provides you the visualization related to your question and a set of related questions. Refinement view is a view where you just apply filters. You can hide certain columns, and the changes you make would apply to every single prediction or exploration for which you're using this data set, right? So I want you guys to ask questions. This is a good opportunity. Are there any questions in the chat that I don't see now? Is there anything that we went over needs clarification? Oh, I'm going to point out something. When you're doing your course, the course comes with some hands-on activities. One of the activities says to create a database connection. Just skip that part. Just skip that part. Just keep in mind that, in general, it is possible to load data from database, but we're not doing it in this class. We're saving it for later coursework. So when you see something like that, just skip it, because it was brought to my attention earlier. All right. And another thing is, yes, if you use your own data set, make sure that the column headings are descriptive, because you saw what was happening, right? Watson picks up the column headers, and those are the words in bold in my exploration and words in blue in my visualization workbook. Make sure that there are no subtotals in the workbook, no totals. You just want to have the column headings on the first row and the remaining rows data. That's what you want to make sure. If we have Sure, yes. You ask and you post them in a conference. I believe in your classroom you have a specific area for the Watson Analytics conference. Watson Analytics, questions. You have a discussion topic. I'm sorry, what was that? I missed it. What was the question? Because I'm unable to see the chat at the same time as I'm looking at the screen. Let me see if I can. Okay, when you say a write-up, no, I'm saying that you need to. No, what you need to do is you need to complete the course first. But for the write-up, it means that what you do is you do the hands-on part, but then you write it. You want to make sure that you're actually writing a paper. You look at the requirements and make sure that a paper is addressing. Make sure that your paper is addressing the key points and assignment requirements. And then what you do is you will submit it in an assignment folder. But if you have questions, you just pause them. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, you would need to attach the screenshots. And when you complete the course, you have to attach the screenshots too. So when you complete the course, you would need to pause, because basically you have to have the course complete in order for your assignment to be graded. Your assignment won't be graded if the course is not complete. All right? So what you're going to do is, mark your calendar. Let's do it this way. That's what I recommend. This week, you're going to take a course. You're going to pass the course this week. And you're going to think about your topic. You're going to play around, think about your topic. After you're done with the course, you're going to start working on your assignment. But I don't want you guys to wait until the end. And another thing to point out, there is some maintenance window. I believe it's on Friday at 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. maybe. I'm going to look up the exact time. So that's something to put in your schedule, to schedule the time accordingly, because there is a maintenance window on Friday night, and the system is not available at that time. So that's something to keep in mind. Right? So, yeah, somebody asked me about the write-up. Write-up is basically the assignment. Yeah. And you would need to include the screenshots. So just make sure that when you read the assignment instructions, and make sure if anything does not make sense, ask questions, right? You want to ask your questions before the assignment is due. Make sure if anything does not make sense, you ask. We're here to help you. So, I hope I did not lose anybody. Steve, do we have any more questions?
No, I don't see any more, Elena. Thank you very much. I think we're going to go ahead and stop the recorder. So let me do that before I forget.
Yeah.